When your head is booming, you're so tired after a long day, you can just listen and have that Polish flowing through your mind. In this video, I will explain one of the most efficient methods to learn and improve Polish fast. So if you're searching for that, keep watching. It's a very easy and fast method that does not require too much focus. And you can practice it even if you had a hard day at work, you're very unmotivated, constantly find excuses to not open your Polish online course or Polish books or course books. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to improve your Polish, how to learn Polish more effectively, how to benefit from this method, and how to improve your Polish even if you're tired and have no motivation. If you're now having excuses, you won't have them once we are done. All you have to do is keep watching. Before I tell you exactly how the method works, let me give you a bit of a background and how I improve my language skills. I discovered this method not that long ago, actually with my Ukrainian teacher who teaches me Russian. This exact method improved my Russian 5 times faster in the last 3 months. And all of that is thanks to one simple technique. And since I am here and I love to learn foreign languages and I teach Polish part-time, here I am to pass it on to you in this video, so that you can improve your Polish too. People say that they are not good at learning foreign languages, and this perception is usually created by bad experiences people have in high school. When I was in high school, literally no one mentioned anything about this method. Teachers usually were explaining to me the grammar and showing me the vocabulary, but they were pretty much leaving me with this to deal by myself. Most probably, if you ever taken any language classes in high school, you can relate. Usually, I was left on my own with deadlines, stress, and no hopes to succeed. And I think learning foreign languages is magic. I absolutely love it, and I think it shouldn't feel this way. And one more thing, look, I am not against any methods that you guys use to study. I actually diversify my learning, and I keep telling my students to diversify too. So it's actually the opposite. I diversify my learning and I also read many books related to foreign languages. But this exact method that I started to implement when improving my Russian is really effortless and helps you learn in context, which in turn helps your mind to remember better. So this method is especially useful if you already know the basics, like how to conjugate verbs, if you have some basics of vocabulary and want to improve your Polish. So if you know at least the basics of grammar, cases and vocabulary and want to improve, let's get right to the method. But keep in mind, if you're just a beginner, you know very basics of Polish, you know, for example, verbs to be, to have, how to conjugate, like the very basic around A1 level, this method will work too, but you will need to choose way easier vocabulary. Just so you know, I am also working a full-time job. I also have millions of things to do, but I keep learning foreign languages as my priority because it's my biggest passion and my hobby. And I completely understand you if you don't have too much time to focus on grammar or memorizing by heart the new vocabulary. This method allows you to work smarter rather than harder. So again, I'm like you, I also prefer to scroll social media or watch Netflix or go out with my mates instead of focusing on studying grammar or opening a book and learn from there. That's normal, we are all humans, not machines. If you have a desire to learn but you feel like something is blocking you, those are usually the bad habits that we need to learn how to fight. We can completely change them, it just takes time. It's same like with the gym. First, when you go to the gym, you're unmotivated, your body hurts, you don't want to exercise, you go once, next day your body is sore and you pretty much want to give up. But with time, the more you actually push yourself to do that, the exercises become easier and easier and your body gets used to the exercises. The same is when you train your brain to learn a foreign language. And I know what I'm saying. I've learned 3 foreign languages through various methods, and this is one of the methods that made me improve it way faster than learning from the book and memorizing by heart. If you get distracted easily, don't have or don't want to commit too much time or energy, or don't like to just memorize by heart, this method is right for you. So how does this work? It's very simple. Let me show you. You can actually do it two ways. So the first way is to select a vocabulary topic. Let's say you want to learn about food in Polish. You Google search for some words and verbs. Let's say words like marchewka, which means a carrot, mąka, which means flour, mieszać, which means to mix, piec, which means to bake, and jajka, which means eggs. You can create a sentence in Polish like wymieszaj marchewkę, mąkę i jajka, a następnie piecz w piekarniku przez godzinę. Which means mix the carrot, flour and eggs and then bake in the oven. Here I assume you already know more or less how to form sentences in Polish, but want to improve grammar and learn new vocabulary. If you don't own any resources like course books, online courses or anything like that and just rely on Google and free language apps, every time you search for a word, think of an image. Create an image for yourself. Conceptualize the word with image. Google search is full of images. Go and inspire yourself to learn the language better and remember the word better. Always think of an image in your head when you're learning a new language. If you're taking Polish classes, you can also learn new words this way. For example, if you follow a course book, note down all the new vocabulary that you were presented during your class on that day. Make sentences using them and record yourself. Listen and repeat. If you're making sentences by yourself, make sure though that they are grammatically correct. There are many Facebook groups, including mine, the details you will find in the description below, where you can ask questions about correctness of the sentences in Polish. After you make the sentence, you're like 30% done. Now you have to record yourself. You can use it, for example, by using a free app like Telegram. It's like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger in case you're not familiar with this app. But there is one huge difference. Because when you're making an audio, when you record your voice, you send it to yourself. You don't need to send it to a friend and be a bit creepy like, what's that? I don't speak this language. Why are you sending this to me? So you're basically recording a voice message to yourself in your saved messages, and then you keep listening to this voice message. You can also ask your Polish teacher, in case you have one, to record the voice note for you or your partner, in case you have a Polish partner or Polish friends or you know some Polish people. You can also ask them so that you also acquire their accent. And those messages are saved on your phone, so they are within an easy reach. You just take your phone and you can listen to them at any time. So go to your saved messages on Telegram and record the voice messages to yourself, so you have them handy, you have them saved on your phone. This way you will have it handy when you have 2 minutes to spare during your day. And don't forget to write it both in Polish and English translation below, so that you can clearly see the sentence both in Polish and English, and then remember and see the words clearly, the new words which you're learning. This serves as your cheat sheet to read and listen. And then simply test yourself. Listen to it a couple of times, maybe even 25 times. I'm sure by the time you listen to this voice note 25 times, you will already know it by heart. Did it feel like studying? No. It more likely felt like listening to a voice note from a friend. So remember that if you're taking Polish classes, in case your teacher is not doing that, ask your teacher to record a voice note so that you can listen to them later after classes, and thanks to this method, acquire new vocabulary. It's very helpful. It will help you, believe me. But remember to focus on these words. Look at them one by one. Analyze and give your mind some time. The more you repeat, the better. Test yourself. Have only the English translation and recall and try to say the whole sentence in Polish. Alternatively, if you're a more intermediate learner, go to my YouTube videos and try to learn with them, so you don't have to go through the process of searching for the vocabulary, making sentences. You already have them done on my channel. So I record sentences like this on my channel where I always repeat them twice in Polish and once in English. Make sure to review these sentences periodically. Why? It's important to distribute practice over time. Remember that slow and steady wins the race. So review the words you learn periodically. Come back to your recordings or my YouTube videos in case you're using them to learn. And make sure you still remember these sentences even after some time already passed. And you think you already know them because you've listened to them that many times. If you actually come back to the recording after a week or two to test yourself, it will help you to remember for longer. You will have that constant practice. The more you come back to the materials you think you already learned, the better you will remember them in the future because you will constantly revise them. And that will hugely improve your Polish. So what you should do now to implement this method and start learning like this and start improving your Polish? First, download Telegram, or alternatively use my YouTube videos so you don't have to actually do it by yourself. You can skip the whole creation of sentences process because I also do sentences for you as much as I can. 2. Record yourself or ask a Polish native to do it for you in case my sentences are too difficult for you, you're more on a beginner level. Listen and look at both English and Polish translation. Polish audio that you're recording and English translation. That's very important. You have to look so your mind remembers better for the future. Repeat as many times and listen as many times as you feel comfortable. The key here is for you to listen as many times as possible so you naturally acquire new vocabulary. You will remember the sentence in context and you will remember the new vocabulary in context, not just memorizing with a picture and the translation. And then 2 days later, or as many days as you feel comfortable, come back to the same recording and check if you remember it. Do it again. And in the meantime, start with a new sentence. Thanks to this technique, I was able to memorize thousands of words in Russian in minutes a day, without actually feeling that I'm studying. I didn't really have to focus, study the difficult grammar structures, or fill in the blanks in exercises. And don't get me wrong, those exercises are also helpful, but they may not be the best suitable for you for a day when you're tired or are on the go, when you can use this time more effectively. Instead of opening your social media, scrolling when you're waiting for a bus, you can just listen to this simple recording directly from your phone and have that language learning process throughout your day. So you have no excuse to say, I don't have time. Literally, with this technique, you can learn with closed eyes. When your head is booming, you're so tired after a long day, you can just listen and have that Polish flowing through your mind. Whether you're on a bus with your headphones on, walking down the street, when you drive your car, or even sitting on a loo. I hope this method helps you improve and learn new words in Polish, my native language. This method does not exhaust you long term, as it almost feels like listening to a friend's voice notes. I find it very enjoyable and it allowed me to improve my language skills 5 times over 3 months. And it also, most importantly, allows me to effectively learn new vocabulary when I have just 5 minutes a day to spare. And what's most important here, effortlessly and fast. I can be tired, I could have worked 12 or more hours a day and still didn't feel that much the impact of learning this couple of minutes because I only listen. It doesn't exhaust you. And feel free to check my videos here on YouTube, especially if you're an intermediate learner. You will find many intermediate sentences on my YouTube channel. If you want to learn grammar, get to know grammatical structures, the basics of tenses, vocabulary and verbs, make sure to check my online courses. You will find the link in the description down below of this video. I wish you pure success and best of luck when learning Polish and improving it. We can all learn foreign languages, no matter how hard it's considered to be, believe me. By the way, most of the people who write hate comments like, it took me 30 years to learn Polish or Polish is impossible to learn, probably have never opened any foreign language book that is exploring the techniques, or simply have no idea, never discovered any study technique, or in general commit very less time for learning. So do me a favor and please never listen to them and never get discouraged by them. I don't have time is only an excuse and a way to say it's not that important right now. If you really want to become fluent in Polish, you will achieve it. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Remember that. Make sure to make your learning journey as enjoyable as possible and diversify along your way. I know you can be communicative if you practice and study hard. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check my YouTube videos, links in the description down below, and see you next time.